Hello everyone, this is James. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be playing a new series. We're going to be playing Street Legal Racing Redline. Now this is a game on Steam and a lot of people don't know about it, but the original developers left the game and the community have picked it up and are now updating it and putting stuff into it. So today we're going to start a new game and we're going to do some drag racing, folks. Right away, they did implement the things in the extras. You just gotta go to the hidden options. You can turn all these things on. Like, what all these do is it allows you to have like engine kits, suspension kits, stuff like that. And then also, if like you buy a used car, you can press 1 or 2. I think 2 stop, like, let's say you're about to crash, press 2 and it'll stop you instantly. Or if your car is damaged, you press 1, it'll repair it as far as it can. But you know, I don't always like using that all the time because I think it's kind of cheating. But it's whatever. So we're going to get into a new game here. We're going to name it. Let's see who think. How about we just name it? Name it Bob. All right. Our player name is Bob, and we're going to get into our garage. Welcome to Street Legal Racing. Your garage is empty. You can buy cars at the car dealers. Now visit the used car dealer and choose an affordable car to start with. Now, here are your two options. One, you can go to the car dealership, as it says right here. You can go there, get a used car. Or you can go in here, you can go to the body, and you can go to the chassis. And when you click on that, you'll be able to find chassis of all different types of vehicles that you'll just be able to build. But you got to remember, we start out with 25,000. It used to be 20,000, but then they changed it, and I'm so glad that they did, because now you're able to actually do a lot more with your vehicle. So let's go ahead and go to the dealership and see what they got for us. And it does take a little bit to load because it is a fully developed game, if you know what I mean, kind of, but it needs some. It just takes a little bit to load. Alright, so now we're ready. And they're going to come in with a few cars like this one. They want 15,000 for, but it has no engine. But it has all the body parts and everything with it. Then you can choose this one that's missing a couple of parts, and they want 19,000. And then this one, this one is missing the engine, so. And this one has no engine as well. Yeah, usually the first time you go to the dealership, they don't have anything good for you. Just, it's just all plain cars. Excuse me. So then you're just going to click this button over here and you're going to hold it, and it's going to advance in the time. And we're going to go to the next day. And let's go to the new dealership and let's see what we can find. Alrighty, loaded up. Give it a few seconds. Alright, so now we got a different choice of cars. Like we got this, a Street GT. They're nice cars to have. Just I wouldn't really suggest getting this particular one because you're gonna have to switch out the whole engine block because this engine ain't able to be turbocharged. And obviously here's another Dunhin Sunstrip that has everything with it, and they want 20,000 for it. You can buy it, but it means you can have $4,000 to do modifications, and you gotta have $2,000 to race. So it's always a good idea to find the cheap cars like this. Now look, they took that rim off, but they put a whole engine in there. For 18,000 is still a horrible deal. Now this is a deal. You get an engine, you get all these body parts, everything's here. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get in the back there, you'll have some nitrous. We don't have any nitrous. But what you do, you buy a car like this, you'll strip it down. It's basically weight reduction. Strip it down, sell all the parts, bam, you're good. Slap a turbocharger on there, or put a brand new engine in it, and you're good. Now the trucks are not really a good drag truck. I mean, this one has a supercharger on it, as you can see, but they're just so heavy, they're just slow. So we'll do the used car dealership one more time, and if we don't find anything, I'm just going to build a car from the chassis menu, just so we can get a vehicle and we can start racing, because the more days that we take to go to the dealership, the less prestige we have, which means the more prestige we have is basically the more street cred you have, the more popular you are. Now as today, these cars right here are slow. Their engines are expensive, but they're slow. Alright, so here we go. $18,000 comes with the engine. This is not a bad platform to build on. We could build a highly professional vehicle like this if it is correctly tuned, but $18,000 to do $7,000 to do modifications with. It wouldn't still be enough because I want to twin turbocharge it, so which means I'd have to switch out the whole engine. So even though if you want something that's a little more simpler, I can put a turbocharger on it. It's just you won't be able to make as much power as the 3.6. So that's another thing to consider. So today we're going into the shopping cart. We're going to go to the body part. We're going to click on chassis. Chassis is going to take a little bit to load because it is a big catalog and has to load in all the things to it. Alright, so now we're loaded in now, and so what you can do is you can look at all the chassis. You see 26, they're all priced accordingly to their value. Right now this is a cheap one, the tag, $7,642. That's not the cheapest. The cheapest is, keep going here. You can buy all these different kinds of things like the Dunhan Turbo Hatch, Powerline XT. Those are all very fast cars if you get them from the used car dealership. And then we come into the Camaros, the old style. I forget what they're called. They're all according to whatever you want to base on. But here's really cheap. We got $4,359 for these two chassis. But the platform to make power with them is bad. Alright, so that's what I was saying. So next page, and bam, right there. That's the cheapest chassis you can get, $4,270. And it's the Dunhan Sunstripe 1.5. Then you got the 1.8, the Racing 2.0. What's the big difference with this one? Oh, I don't have the money to buy that one. You can't read information about it unless you don't have the money. Yeah. Well, anyway, so we're going to choose this one. It's a very simple starting platform. Even though it says 1.5 on it, we always put a 2.2 in it. They're basically the same chassis. It's just all they do is they'll do a weight reduction or something like that on it. So we're going to go to there, and we're going to go to engine, we're going to go down to engine kits. Now, with this, you can buy your own engine, like build it personally, if you go to that tab, Inline 4, if you want to. But you got to find all the compatible parts, and you only make about 150 horsepower, 180 right off the bat. And then you got to buy a supercharger or a turbocharger to make even more. So we're going to go through the kits, and we're going to find the kit that is for this car, and it's the Racing 2.2 liter inline 4, and it makes about 475 horsepower, I believe. Now, I believe the most horsepower I've ever made in these cars is about 600 horsepower. But that is hard to achieve, and it doesn't last long because they updated the tires now. So now every race that you do, those tires wear down, and after you do so many races, the tires are just shot. They have nothing left on them. So next page, please, right here, Dunhill Racing CD VC engine kit. It's $11,000. It's $11,000. Don't let the price scare you. Alright, you're going to buy this, and 430 horsepower. It's a high RPM, so these cars are known for high RPM cars. They are made to hit 10,000 RPMs and go with it. Alright, that's how. So here's your crate. Bam, there you go. It's automatically in the car, and it already comes with the turbocharger. Now this turbocharger, if you click the screwdriver here, this is the tuning tool. So you can tune, like if I was click on the block, I can tune the red line. I always put the red line as high as possible because, and then, I always put the idle about 1500 just because it doesn't stall as easy. And then the turbo, you can adjust the pressure, turn that pressure all the way up. Because now we used to make 430, now we make 530. We make an extra 100 horsepower just because of that wastegate pressure. So now they did that. Now you got to get to the suspension. Excuse me. So we're going to go to running gear, and we're going to go to suspensions. Now you can buy running gear kits, but they're about $18,000, and they are very expensive. You're going to buy these right here. They're cheap, $260, just this front row right here. And I found out that the suspension setup that I'm about to show you how to buy is probably the best suspension setup that I've had through the whole game. Even fast cars that go over 200 miles an hour do best with this suspension setup. It's a phenomenal setup. So then, we're going to buy the cheap shocks. Remember, this is a budget build because we are trying to excuse me, we're trying to build a fast car on a budget. So you're going to be looking through all these springs, and you're going to find the cheapest ones. I think I just passed. I believe this is the one. $108 is the cheapest. But I'm wrong. Please correct me. So that solves that. Now you can get anti-roll bars, and they are very effective once you start going really fast. But the first few races are really slow, so you won't need them until you get really fast. Now brakes are going to go, I don't know, brakes are always expensive in my opinion. That's just how they've always been, is very expensive. And 246, alright, keep that in mind. Yeah, but the brakes are always very expensive just because they're just brakes. Nope. Okay, so these are the cheapest brakes. Last page, Baron Coupe 2.5 285 millimeter 2-piston disc brakes. They're $236 a piece. You gotta buy 4 of them because you have 4 wheels. Alright, now I got brakes done. Now we need to go to rims. There's stock rims. Now, this is where this is where it comes tricky now, because you got the sizes like 18 inches wide, 17 inches tall, 9 inches wide, 17. You gotta find the tire that matches that rim. Now, because I make so much power, I'm going to buy. I'll go back here and you go to the first few pages, page 12 or 10. Bam, right here. The MT Miscaline 15 inches by 15 inches for drag tires. I had 2 weekends designated for the fronts. Alright. Then we can go all the way back to the front here. Where are the cheap ones? I know there's some really cheap ones in here. Like, I mean, they're like really cheap. I think we'll just get those, put those in the back, because if you see all turboed, little 4 cylinders, they all have cheap little, rims that just are on the back that don't do anything. Should be here somewhere. I think I just passed it, but I'm gonna keep looking because why not? Now, for time's sakes, I'm just gonna buy these bad boy, or we're just gonna go to the ones that I usually buy. Right here, it's the 18s by 17s. 2 of those, and click the next one. We go to tires now. Now, once you're in tires, this is the biggest drag tire you can get. Now I gotta buy 2 of those, and yes, those tires are expensive. They're $354 a piece. Now we need to go all the way to the last page, and this one right here, $152 is full for the top 2 tires. Alright, so now I can click the home button. And once we're back here, now we can now they did give us a designated lift for suspension setup. And it is really cool. You use the lift to assemble suspension for your car and everything. Alright, so as you can see, we just put on the suspension kit. And yes, these drag tires hang out at least a good 5 inches from that fender. Alright, it is a-okay. Everything is fine. Trust me, I've done this multiple times. That car is not going to go crazy. Now we need to do the interior. Now, I believe this comes with a nitrous jet. Yep, it comes with nitrous. Okay, now I just need to buy some nitrous tanks, and we should be good. Let's see. The turbocharger that they use is the Racing Boost Master, and that is $1,850. Now, if you go here, you can buy this guy for $3,000. Now, sometimes the cheaper one is better, so I'm going to leave it with the stock one it comes with, just because I'm going to buy a 96-pound kit of NOS. Buy the gauge but these ones are the gauge you have to buy for them. If you go back here, the 24-pound and the 12-pounders, they do not need the gauge for them at all, so don't need to worry about that with those. With the battery, all you need is a 5-amp battery. I've used, you can buy top of the line ones like the 65 amp for most cars, but I use just the small one because it's cheap. But when I get more money, I'll put the better one in because it is better. I forget what the transmission is. There are different types of transmissions which will affect your performance on the streets. You can get manuals and automatics. It's all up to your preference. These buttons will, like, if I press the pistons, it'll hide the engine so I can see. If I press the car body, it'll hide the car body. All these things do their buttons. 6-speed sport automatic transmission. Okay, so we got a really good transmission right off the bat. Now you're going to go here and you're going to buy steering wheel. Steering wheels are expensive, so you want to go find cheap ones. Where's the cheap one? 109. There we go. It's this car's actually the cheapest steering wheel. So once you get that, then you need to buy pedals and a seat. There is a matter that requires your attention. So, since it's an automatic, you want to go all the way to the last page. get the stock pedals because they're really cheap. Alright, and then once you do that, you go to seats. Now seats are always going to be expensive. Now look at my budget. I got $3,780. I cannot go below $2,000. So if I look through here, where's the driver's seat? Driver's seat, $274. Expensive, but it'll do. So we can go put all this in now. And it should be, yep, there we go. Vehicle Class B, 530 horsepower. Now you can also, with the screwdriver, you can click on the camshafts and you can adjust the angle. If you're like one of those tuners that do this stuff, you can tune that. And then they also got, you know, you can do the transmission too. Like I can do the gear ratios and everything. I'd never mess with the transmission with that because I'm not good with that, and sometimes I won't remember what the default is. You know, that's usually why I take a picture of it, and then I'll change my settings, and then I'll go with it. And you got the test track, which is here, and you can test your car out with the 1 mile drag strip. But right now, I believe she is ready to go, so we're going to do our first startup, or just right here. And no, when you first start okay, so the car runs good, it jives. Alright, so now we need to go to alright, so now, sorry about that, we need to go to the nitrous port. Yep, there we go. Alright, so now click on the amount injected. You need to turn that all the way up to 359 pounds. Now, warn you, down the drag strip, you hit this, it's going to take about 3 bars off of your nitrous. Nothing insane. Excuse me. Nothing insane, but it does work. And then the methanol injection. Now, your stock one is not methanol. It is just regular 90 octane or 87, whatever it is. And that comes at a ratio at 12.50. If you're good with this ratio, go ahead and knock yourself out with me. Whatever it comes with is what I'll leave it at. So, you know, I'm running more fuel, less air, because I got a turbocharger on it, so it's blowing tons of air in there. I could probably tune that and make tons more power, but don't. And then with the drag tires, they come fully. I like to take them down to 22 point. So 1.5 bars is a good spot for me. I personally like that tire pressure. Seems to work really well. And now to do drag racing, we got to wait till nighttime. So let's go ahead and click that. We'll go to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock and click the city button. Now we're going to go to the city. And I'll show you, you know, you can do races during the daytime. Now mind you, the tires that I have on my vehicle are not street legal. It'll tell you that when you buy them. Not to drive it during the day when there are cops. But if you are one of those people that, you know, does do those things, be mindful of the police. And when you street race people at daytime, if they're chase after you and they will destroy your car trying to get you. So just be aware of that one. So when it loads in, you come outside your garage, and it says, "Welcome to Battle City. At night, the racing community gathers to arrange drag races for high prizes, even for pink slips. You can find them at the location marked with the green flag to race, or just watch of them. You can watch a race. Obviously, we just built a drag horse owner, so we are going to go race." Alright, so now we're going to go to marker, which is on the right amongst marker. there is cruise control, and I use it just for cruising around on the streets. You know, it makes if you're doing the speed limit on that street, cruise control will up or down. But I just like using cruise control because it keeps me like it keeps you in your lane at a certain speed, and you know, so I'm not burning any tire or tread. Now, when you buy used cars, definitely don't do that. Do not hit the brakes. I don't think it's worth it. Remember, you got some of the cheapest brakes on, so stopping is very limited in this car. So first up, we're going to go to 9. We're already in 20th place, so we're going to race this car, and you get the bet. And you always want to place that as high as you can, as long as you know you can beat them. If you don't know you can beat them, do a reasonable bet that you think is a good amount that you can lose, but a good amount if you win. Now with me, I always know my car's limitations and how fast it'll go down that street, so I'll always bet the highest. Remember, when you first get things, press set up control, so you're already in first gear. This will not put you in first gear. Then you want to just redline. Go, baby, done. Don't do what I did now since I crashed into it. Press 1, it fixes your car.
You win the race!
I ran a 10-second. Right, that's not bad. I've had cars that ran 5s. I had the Camaro V6 used to run 7.5s. So yeah, certain cars. Trust me, this is not the max horsepower. So when we get some be careful of other racers too, because they will lose control and they will hit you as you're coming back down the street. You stop participating. We'll do one more race, and then I'll call this the end for the video. But so this should give you, you know, your points for everything. It should show you how to do it. The first gear, when it hits 2,
3, 2, 1.
You also want to be careful for objects in the road. The other racers will hit things, and they will land in the road, like I just hit that stoplight. And then after you're done racing, all you gotta do is press escape and tow car to the garage for, you know, I think the highest was $35 for me. And as you can see, everything has some wear on it, but nothing extremely bad. You know, nothing normally gets bad in my hands. But, you know, so this is Street Legal Racing. I think if you did watch this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be uploading more about this series. If you have another series that you want me to do, just let me know, and I will let you know if I can do it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.